Hello, hello, hey, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. My name is Foster, and as always, I am coming to you live from the studio with the one, the only,
Alexia,
Alexia. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well. You look beautiful today. This is an audio format, but for all of our listeners to understand, Alexia is always gorgeous, but today you just crushed it.
Thank you. I think I always try to crush it, but sometimes I'm more like dog mom outfit than Alexia
Hey,
outfit.
dog moms, sexy for me. Dog mom in this case.
Thank you.
Okay, Alexia, today I want to talk about something that we experienced very recently, as in yesterday, but also talk about the concept of stage fright more generally. So first, do you understand what stage fright is?
Yes, I do. É medo do palco.
Medo do palco.
Yes, so stage
Mhm.
is palco.
Yep.
Fright é medo.
I got it. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to explain to the
People
people who are listening to us.
Yeah. And just a quick note, the word fright in English, this is something that I hear Brazilians use a little bit too much. Like, I had a fright or something because like, eu tenho medo. But to be honest, stage fright is like the only time I say the word fright. Normally I just say I was scared.
Or I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool.
Yes. So I have a lot of stage fright. Stage fright. Stage fright. Yes, I do.
It is kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah. Stage fright.
Don't think about it too much. Stage fright.
Stage fright.
Perfect. Okay, but we're using the concept of stage fright very liberally. So we're talking not just on the stage in front of a huge audience, but any type of public speaking. Could be a presentation at work. It could be teaching an English class. Anything that gets you a little bit anxious and nervous before that feeling.
I used to hate making presentations at high school or college. I hate it. Hate it. It's not about not knowing what you're going to say because I know exactly what I'm supposed to say. It's more about the audience itself
Mm-hmm.
than anything else.
Okay. So, Alexia, how do you feel about stage fright nowadays? Is it something you still get before, I don't know, before you're teaching a class or before you have to go to? Yeah?
Yes, not teaching a class, depending on the student, I'm super okay. But for example, we have a group class from Careca Connection,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every time that I had to give them classes, I am super nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there are 3 people there instead of 1. And it's like, I don't know if they are liking me, if they are understanding what I'm saying. It's always like what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
And I had this feeling yesterday when we were recording to Karina's podcast.
Yeah. So let's cut to the chase. That's such a good phrase. Do you understand that phrase?
Uh-huh.
Cut to the chase. That means to get directly to the point. So yesterday, we recorded a podcast with Karina Fragoso, who, if you don't know who she is, that is very surprising to me because she is way more famous than we are. But she's a famous English teacher on YouTube. Brazilian, obviously. So we invited her to our podcast, and She also invited us to appear on her podcast
with teacher Fábio.
with teacher Fábio, who,
Fábio Emerim.
yes, we met Fábio yesterday.
Yes.
Very cool guy.
Yes.
But Karina's podcast is also a video podcast. And she has like, I don't know, millions of followers on YouTube. So it's kind of scary. It's way
horrible.
different than
Yes.
just you and me talking about whatever.
Yeah, so like at the beginning of the podcast, you guys will see how nervous I was, and then it was all good. My English came to me. I was a little bit more relaxed. I kind of forgot what was going on, and everything was fine. But like the first 5 minutes, I was so nervous, and it's so weird because it's like we are recording a podcast, and just because it has a video, it changes everything.
Yeah, totally. I was nervous. I don't think I was quite as nervous as you. But in general, I do get very nervous before like presentations and things like that. Do you have any tips, recommendations, things that help you?
I mean, when I was younger, my parents tried to make me take drama classes.
Yeah, I'm sure that went really well.
Especially, oh, it did. During the classes, I was awesome. The day of the presentation, I have a blank. I have no idea what happened. But one thing.
Can I stop you real quick? In English, we say, I drew a blank.
I drew a blank.
So to draw a blank, and dar branco.
Mhm.
And then in the past, irregular verb, drew. I drew a blank.
Okay. I drew a blank. And then during college, there was extremely cool, like extra course.
Mm-hmm. Extracurriculars?
Yes, that it was, I don't remember the name exactly, but it was like, quando você tem que fazer, it was improvisação.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was super cool, like 1 hour only doing that. And then I remembered how much I liked Zenas Improvisadas. I don't know if you watched that. It was from your time. It was the beginning. Oh my God, it was a pretty cool teatro. Uma peça de teatro.
Yeah. A performance, a theater
Yes,
performance.
it was where Gregório do Vivier started, and everyone that we know, like nowadays, started doing that. And it was only improv.
Yeah.
And I tried that. It was horrible. Horrible. I can't function under pressure at all. It's horrible. I can't be funny. I can't be anything. But when this first 10 minutes pass, I can relax. So I start to think about, okay, how can I control myself when this happens? Because, I mean, people will invite us more and more, hopefully, to be on their podcasts or
maybe this was the last time.
their YouTube channels or something like that. And I don't want to be like that every single time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is exhausting to be super nervous about anything.
Yeah.
And I think all of our students can relate to this. Like I'm imagining interviews. People get so nervous before job interviews. And even just having a conversation class with the native speaker, I know most of our students get super nervous before that.
I get nervous going to the doctor for the first time.
Yeah, I think that's there's a different thing going on there.
I had to, like, who are you? What are you doing here? It's almost the same.
Okay. Can I give you a couple of things that I do to help with this?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've listened to this show for more than one episode, you probably know that I have a lot of social anxiety. I'm not like the best public speaker in the world, although I have a podcast and Essentially, we do improv as a living. But I have two theories. On one hand, preparation is always really, really good. Because if you are super prepared, then you don't really have to think about things. For example, when I was in business school, we had to give ridiculous presentations like once a week. And I would just be so prepared, like memorize a script. So if something weird happened during the presentation, I could just get back to my script. It was in my head. On the other hand, I do think there is something to be said, not to be unprepared, but to have low expectations or to have no expectations. So I've heard a phrase, and for some reason, it's always in relationship to Denmark. But I think some famous person from Denmark at some point said the key to happiness is having low expectations.
O não você já tem.
O não você já tem. Eu aprendi isso ontem.
Sim.
So if you arrive in a situation thinking, okay, this is just another day, not thinking too much about it, what's the worst that could happen? Things will probably go pretty well.
Yeah, I like that. But I also think that we need to have a balance between being prepared and being not prepared.
I think it totally depends on your personality
Yes, of course. So for
in
me,
the situation.
if I had one day, I had to go to my old university to talk to students about my work. And during that time, I was working at the Porta dos Fundos. And then, like, my super, super amazing professor asked me if I could go there and talk to the students about my profession and how did I get in to Porta and how did I become a producer.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I don't want to lie to anyone there. But I was having so many mixed feelings because I was a student once, right? And you
Mhm.
look up to people who are ex-students from your university and they are doing well with their lives and etc.
Right. I think in that case, I would say former students or alumni.
Alumni, yeah, former students, I like it better. But then I looked at my friends at work and I said, all of you are going with me. I'm not doing this by myself. So I managed to take like 3 more colleagues from work with me, and I was so much more relaxed and I could talk to them. And then after the big speech, I could talk to them and they were asking a lot of things and my professor was super happy about it. But I had to have like 3 other people with me to make me feel comfortable about it.
Yeah. Strength in numbers. If you have that option to just bring some of your friends or colleagues along, more power to you.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexia, I think that is a good place to stop today. I think in the next episode, we can give some specific tips about how to deal with nervousness and anxiety before presentations, interviews, whatever you get nervous about. And until then, keep up the good fight.
And as well. Bye.